Hello.
We're back.
All right.
What are we talking about this week, guys?
Men at work.
Men at jerks.
Nothing like a couple men at work.
Nothing like it. You know, God loves a working man.
Never know what's going to happen.
Right. All I know is God loves a working man.
Never trust Whitey.
Never trust Whitey.
No, and definitely see a doctor and get rid of it.
See a doctor and get rid of it.
And that brings us to the movie Men at Work, featuring one Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen before he went,
Charlie
bullshit.
Everybody
When
knows.
did you run into Charlie Sheen?
Over the weekend, you stupid.
All right, moving on.
Anyways, here
Great
we are.
movie. I loved it. Men at Work. Great classic movie.
Oh, it's a
I've
classic.
seen it so many times. How many times have I seen that movie? Probably like
At least 7.
realistically,
8.
I would say probably 20.
20 times.
I'm not kidding. Well, that's why I was like saying every line in the movie because I've seen it so many times.
Well,
and it hasn't been like a lot in a short span. It's just like every other year.
Mhm.
So
I
he
see that
said
movie
a
again.
lot of lines in the movie, and a lot of them were really close.
Oh, this guy is
Really
Oh, shoot.
He's always claiming on misquote, but I'm like saying word for word, man. I know these things.
I mean, to a point. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if you're being like Jeopardy serious, you know, maybe he's a little off. You know? Maybe he says who is
Well,
instead of what is.
I'm not
true.
gonna lie. I'm a king of misquotes, but
It was close. It was close. So Caleb's seen Men at Work a million times. I've seen it quite a few, probably like more like 5-6 times. But it was a great movie. How many times?
I'm sure I've seen it
He's probably
15 times.
probably.
Yeah.
But you know, it's one of those movies that a lot of people I don't think have seen.
No, I agree.
You know?
It kind of slipped by. It's filmed in what,
1990?
90, yeah.
And a lot of people, it just kind of whipped by. No one really noticed it. We're one of the very few.
It's one of the few ones that both Charlie Sheen and his brother Emilio Estevez are
Right.
both in. And there's what are the
Which
ones
is
where
funny because they are brothers. A lot of people don't know that. Are they half brothers, I believe? I think their dad is.
I think you're right. I think they are half brothers.
The dad is.
Their dad is both of their
yeah.
dads.
Yeah. But
yeah.
he's a famous actor. He was in.
yeah.
He was in.
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Many movies. But obviously Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen, and Emilio Estevez wanted to go his own route, so I think he did his own last name kind of thing, and try to make differentiate himself a little bit, which I think he kind of did. Obviously, he made his way with like Mighty Ducks and Young Guns and other movies like that.
He peaked with Loaded Weapon 2.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, I mean that's were they in another movie together though? Them two? I don't even know.
Ooh, that's a good question. I thought they were.
If they were, leave it in the comments. We don't have time to dwell on this. So
I believe so.
I think they're in another movie together for sure. They almost gotta be.
by the way, if this is your first time checking us out, hit that like, subscribe, and share this with another friend of yours who likes movies.
Only if you think it's funny though. Especially if you don't think it's funny, then definitely share it with them.
If you think this is just not worth your time, just hit like and subscribe.
Man, that really showed Josh.
Share it with everybody.
Yeah, Josh would really be like,
Somebody's gotta like that.
put him in his place. You like, share, subscribe, show Josh exactly how you feel about
By
it.
the way, I'm dressed like a garbage man today.
I like
If
it.
you've seen the movie, you would know.
Hey,
that.
where's your friend from?
He's from
Texas.
Texas.
What about you? He flew in from Texas. I could haul you in, you know. But for now, I'm just going to give you a warning.
All right, so we watched, obviously, we watched the movie Men at Work. Men at Work, Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez.
Yep.
Throw us down a quick synopsis of the movie, if you would.
It was written and directed also by Emilio Estevez. This was his first,
awesome.
I believe it was his first
Directorial debut, right?
Yeah. Writing and directorial
That's pretty cool.
debut. Yeah.
That's
Not
really
a bad way to start, because
No,
obviously
it's
we
not.
love it.
No.
Funny movie.
Right.
So it's basically two garbage men who find a dead body on the route, and they stumble into this thing going on with politics. They decide, let's get to the bottom of it, and it's their adventure with the funny different characters in the movie and how they go about tackling this whole situation.
Right. So Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez play friends in the movie. They work in a garbage truck. They want to they don't, obviously they're not aspiring to be garbage
They're
men.
not your best employees. We'll put it that
Right.
way.
They want to be. They want to open a surf shop. That's the whole
what
thing.
they really want to
Right.
do. Open up their own Carl and James surf shop. I'm sorry if I ruined that. If that was a quiz, you guys are gonna get me.
No, not even.
But yeah, they want to start their own surf shop, and then along the way, Charlie Sheen is a little bit of a what's the word? A voyeur. He likes to watch. I like to watch.
Carl.
Carl.
They live way up in an apartment building, right next to another apartment building.
Right.
Carl lives in an apartment building.
Right, and James St. James
St. James
likes to live right next door to. He
what a
visits
name for the movie. That's so
James.
funny.
Caleb and I were talking
one of my
about
quizzes.
that. I know. Caleb and I were talking about that. We're like, is his name really James St. James?
I know his name is James. I've always known his name's James.
Yeah.
Carl and James.
Yeah.
And I was looking at their last names.
And I always remember his boss calls him Mr. St. James at one point. And I'm thinking, sometimes you just say, Saint something.
Right.
Just as
that's what I thought too.
Just as a whatever. But and then I noticed on his thing, Carl says Taylor.
Right.
And then his says St. James. And I thought, that cannot be.
That can't be. It can't be James St. James.
James St. James.
No.
And then it is.
Sure, yeah. I looked at IMDb just to make sure.
That's so
James
funny.
St. James.
That's
So anyways,
fun. That's a fun thing though.
So
yeah,
so
you're probably
weird,
wondering what we're drinking here, and this is a little blend that you may have seen us
mine's
make.
over there.
Oh, you
Mine-
might as well
so
grab
is
it.
mine
Let's
over
have a little
there.
sip of it.
So
in the middle, like they're having a little hangover medicine, as you call
Well, after
it.
finding out that they got called into their boss's office because they're about to get kicked off because somebody rolled a bowling alley down Avenue H and some other business.
Right.
And then he said, "That's it. You're on your final straw. You're going to be riding with my brother-in-law, ex-military guy."
Oh yeah.
And so they went home that night, drank and played some games, whatever,
Right.
stared at their neighbors, and then
They made a little breakfast cocktail.
They didn't want to ruin it. They're like, we got to be on our best behavior. This guy's going to be a real a-hole today. And so Carl, who is Charlie Sheen, wakes up and he just gets up and he's like, walks over, pours some coffee into the blender.
It's coffee, ice cream, and because they have a hangover, because they're drinking all night, a couple of Tylenol.
Yep. Some Jaeger.
Now, I'll tell you what.
Coffee, ice
Jaeger,
cream.
coffee, ice cream. That's what it was.
It seemed like it was just whatever was sitting there.
Yeah.
Right, he just started
opened the
dumping it.
fridge or, like fridge and freezer, whatever. He's just like grabbing stuff and just like scooping it, throwing it in there. But that's what it ended up
Right.
being.
So what we went with was, as you may have seen during the mixing there, we went with the ice cream, the Jaeger, and the
coffee,
but no Tylenol. We
just left out the Tylenol. The last thing he did after he added those other ingredients in the movie was he grabbed this container of Tylenol and just dumped it in there, which there were only like 2 in there.
And we don't need that yet. Tomorrow's our hangover. We're still working pre-hangover.
Then he blended it up, and it didn't actually show him drink it, but we're going to drink it for real.
Here it is, right here.
Because that's what we do. We do it for real.
Right.
Let's get it.
You get a Twinkie Wiener sandwich, we're going to eat it. You make a ice cream Jägermeister coffee cocktail, we're going to drink it, all right?
Let's do it.
Oh, that's terrible.
You think
It's
so?
not bad at all.
I think it's good.
I think it's really good.
Yeah.
Well, really, I think
It's the Jaeger.
A lot of Jaeger.
I
I don't like the Jaeger.
The Jaeger aftertaste is kind of.
I may have put in a little extra Jaeger in there.
Yeah, it's just that black licorice
is.
taste. I
That's
don't like.
what it is.
It is what it is.
And it's subtle though. That ice cream.
It's not
really,
bad. It smooths it over.
Yeah, smooths it over.
Yeah. I would drink this. Absolutely.
I'll absolutely drink this.
Yeah, that's true. It's not that. It's not as bad.
You sound like Danny when we give ratings to movies.
Actually.
Let me change my rating.
0.2 up. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the black licorice, but it's drinkable. Like I wouldn't, if I bought it, I wouldn't throw it away.
Yeah, I wouldn't kick it out of bed.
I wouldn't kick it out of bed. Oh. Yeah, you could invite her.
I would. More room on the floor.
That's typical dad joke.
Oh boy.
Really?
What do you think, Texas? Oh.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of silent these days.
We need to get him sobered back out.
Anyways, minute work. So the positives you can say about it. Obviously, Charlie Sheen's funny, especially that was in his prime, man. That was when Charlie Sheen was like he just couldn't do wrong. He was hilarious.
Absolutely in his prime.
Emilio is like right before the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Again, he was in his prime. I can't remember the name of the guy that watches them. Do you remember his name?
Watches them.
The third guy in the movie.
Oh, his name's Lewis in the movie.
Lewis, yeah.
but
Not the
I don't
pizza
know
guy.
his name in real life.
I can't remember. He's played in several movies, though.
Yeah, he absolutely
Keith
has.
David.
Yeah,
Okay, there
Keith
you go.
David.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been in several.
He plays his character so
He
well.
was just in something else I just watched.
He's like the hard-ass guy, you know?
Quick quiz. What's his name?
Oh,
an easy-
Tish.
Who?
I don't even know.
The bad guy. The lead bad guy.
Potterdam the third.
Okay, you got it. But what's
Ooh.
his first name?
Um,
Roy Stalin.
It's also typical. Potterdam the third.
It's not Roy Stalin.
dang it, I don't know. I don't remember.
Huh?
Roy Stalin.
Oh. Better, if it was better off dead, it would be.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Let's keep going.
Oh, next. Just keep
Scott.
moving along.
Maxwell
Maxwell
Potterdam.
Oh,
This guy's
right.
cheating. I don't know if you guys caught that,
just
but this
cheated.
guy,
I just
he's
cheated
looking
on
at
that
his
because
phone.
we
Oh
need an answer.
my
We're not
stars.
coming back to that.
So, anyways, the movie's about Charlie Sheen.
He just told us.
Oh, did you?
He just did a whole synopsis on the movie.
Well, I mean, so
Oh.
Charlie Sheen and
Anyway,
Emilio Estevez,
yeah.
they
That's all, folks.
Charlie Sheen thinks he's killed a guy. He thinks he killed them.
So yeah, and you're right. He thinks he killed the guy. Well,
Right.
to scale it back a little bit, bring it back a little bit.
All right, bring it back. Reel it in.
We
Reel it
want
in.
to talk about Jack Berger. So Jack Berger's the politician.
You got
He's the mayor.
no. He's running for mayor.
No, he is
He
the
is-
mayor.
He is the
he-
mayor,
he's
but
running
he's
for
also running
re-election.
for re-election.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
All right, so we'll
But there's some
strike that one off
shady
there.
business going on. You know, some corruption that he doesn't want to be part of. and
No, he already was part of
Oh,
it.
he's big time.
he's trying
part
to
of it.
end it.
He's trying to end it.
So this is what happened.
Oh, boy.
He was-
Three guys,
I've
three
seen
different
this movie
versions.
20 times.
Obviously not. There's a company who makes paint thinner, and they have a byproduct that they're trying to get rid of. They work with the mayor and tell the mayor, hey, we're trying to get rid of this. We're going to dump this byproduct in the ocean.
The river.
Yeah.
But same place. Ocean, same thing.
And-
it's California.
The mayor says, okay, but as long as it's going to be sealed for a long time, and they said 150 years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, come to find out, the barrels are all barrels are all leaking.
They're leaking
Big
already.
time.
They were leaking as soon as they were going down.
And so the mayor said, "Well, this isn't right. I'm going to blow the whole thing and expose it." And then he said, "No, you're not. It would kill your career." And he said, "Watch me." And so now the guy who owns the paint thinner company is got a hitman out for the mayor.
Oh, and it kills him.
Kills him.
And what does the hitman's license plate say?
Oh, it says
Hitman.
Hitman.
Yeah.
Stuffs him in a barrel. They
Yeah, it's too far.
they lose him out of the back of the trunk. Lose the barrel. It ends up on Carl and James' garbage route.
Right.
Carl and James find the dead body, and all this ensues.
And then the comedy ensues. So here's my first issue in the movie. First of all, if you find a body in the trash, you're not just going to be like, oh, like, we should just get rid of it, you know? I mean,
Well, if you shot
get
the
he
guy
thought-
in the butt,
he
the
thought
night
he killed
before
him,
with
but
the
then they
BB gun.
immediately, Lewis immediately says, this guy's been strangled to death.
yeah,
Right.
And that's where it should end. He's like,
It should.
okay, I'm out of it, you know? And the movie should have just ended there. To
should
be,
have.
if you're being a realist, you
Yes.
know, obviously the
Right.
movie had to
They
keep
didn't
going
have
on, so I
to
get it.
Get involved.
But yeah, they're just like, oh, we still gotta get rid of the body. It's just kind of weird that part.
No, I mean,
I get it, but you know,
I mean, they shot him in the butt.
right? But it's strangle marks. He was strangled to death.
Well, yeah, but right. So once they saw that strangle mark, they still. I mean, there's a pellet
No,
in his butt. I mean, like
that's not what it was. It was because the two cops in their district, in their route,
Oh, they kept harassing.
they
him.
were trying to find something on.
were
them.
trying to find
Right.
something on them. And now
Yeah.
if there's a dead body on their route, they're going to have to
Yeah,
deal
but
with
the guy
these
was
guys.
clearly strangled.
Especially
to
if
death.
He
can-
was, but the cops don't care.
Yeah. If they could
Cops,
somehow
man, you
link
just
back
can't trust them these days.
the
you
pellet
know?
to them and their
Yeah.
apartment directly across.
Oh,
Somehow,
yeah.
Somehow link it to them and then tie it. To
Yeah,
the
they
murder
didn't. They didn't want to deal with
somehow.
it.
All
Yeah,
right,
I
so
don't-
big time movie quiz right now. Since we touched on two
Okay.
aspects,
Yeah.
I wrote a couple of movie quiz questions. I want you guys
Let's
to answer.
get into it.
I
Let's
wrote
All
them,
right,
Let's
fine.
so I'm not
throw
going to
'em out
answer them.
there.
But I'm gonna see if you guys are smart enough.
All
See if
right.
you-
Well, I guess we're gonna dish out some movie quizzes.
you
'cause I got a list.
You better blink out your eyes there. I want you staring at the monitors, cheaping.
Yeah, I got my
This guy
own.
over here.
No,
my
I
own
don't
notes
have,
over
I just
here.
have notes.
All right, so really quick, just a couple quick questions for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bang down the list of them. Okay,
Bang it.
Okay.
bang down the list.
Bang it.
Question number 1: what is the name of the company that's dumping that waste? Anyone? Buzz in if you know it. What is the name of the company dumping the waste?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I pointed that out while we were watching.
You
it,
did, and that's why I wrote
but
it
I
down.
don't remember it.
Why didn't you remember? You could have got 5 points.
Because that's the first time I even noticed it.
Well, then the name is Shoreline Waste.
Shoreline, which
Bum,
is
bum, bum, bum.
Wait a minute.
What? It's Shoreline Waste. That's the name of the company.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It
That's
was
the
on
name of the
truck.
garbage service.
That's their garbage.
You said the
That's
name
what
of the
I
company
said.
dumping the waste.
Yeah, that's their garbage.
Well, Shoreline
company.
Waste.
Shoreline Waste is the garbage
That's the-
service.
One man's waste. is
Okay,
another
you're
man's
cut
trash.
off.
That wasn't
You're cut
it.
off.
Okay.
No, that wasn't it.
That wasn't it.
Well, the Shoreline Waste is where Charlie and
Yeah, that's where Charlie and James- Carl
Okay,
and
I
James
should have
work.
rephrased that. I'm sorry. That's my fault. We'll blank it out here.
Okay.
Because I
Blank it out
knew.
here. All right.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Without looking at the screen, he knew that, guys. Anyways, number 2 well, you already got this one. Was the name of the politician running for mayor, re-election?
Jack Berger.
Jack Berger. That's pretty easy.
That's
Pretty
easy
easy.
one.
Pretty easy.
We got Jack Berger right here.
All right. How about this? In what city does all this craziness take place?
In reality or in the movie?
In the movie.
It's.
Don't look. Are you looking at
No,
this?
I'm not.
Don't be cheating there.
I'm looking at my own notes.
Okay.
That's still cheating.
I know.
The name of the city.
Do you know, Caleb?
Do you know?
Oh, I know. Just give me a second.
I will. I will give you a
Okay,
second.
all
One.
right.
All right. What is it?
Okay.
It's not Santa Clara.
Nope.
No.
That's
No,
where vampires
no,
are.
No, you're thinking of
Yeah. Las Playas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Las Playas.
Knew
All right.
it.
Good job. All
It would have
right.
come to me for sure.
That's a good one.
Now, okay. Quiz back. What city did it actually? Was it actually filmed in?
Oh man.
San Dimas.
No.
Santa Clara.
No.
Las Vegas.
Nope.
I
Las
was just joking.
Vegas.
Santa Carla.
Was it in California?
Yeah, it was in California.
Oh, then it's got to be Las Vegas.
Caleb, any more guesses? One more guess.
All right.
San Diego.
I'm going to say Sacramento.
Long Beach.
Oh, that's what I meant. Long Beach. That's what Hulk Hogan
I
is.
feel like I knew that for some
Maybe.
reason.
I don't know. I did not know
Anyway,
that.
moving on.
I'll tell you how you knew it, but
How?
after he's done.
Okay.
All right.
That's one of my quizzes too.
Go ahead. No,
Oh.
finish it. Finish it.
Okay. In the beginning of the movie, the name of the boat that they're dumping the waste off of.
That's it. What?
What was it?
What's the name of the boat that they're dumping the waste off of?
That's what we were talking about. No, that's what we were talking about in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
They were throwing waste out the boat, and it said the boat, and I said to him, I said, we should quiz that
Yeah.
boat on the movie.
Well, I have it.
and then I told him I forgot. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I totally forgot. What is it?
The Coronado.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then it says
okay.
Long Beach
Long
underneath
Beach,
it.
and that's what it was. That's why I remembered Long Beach.
And that's a
yeah.
lot different than
Yeah.
Short Beach, which is also in California.
That's true.
Possibly. Maybe it's not.
I think Short Beach is in your bathroom.
It could be.
Oh!
All right. How about this? This is a tough one. If one of you guys gets this
Okay.
one, I will walk off the podcast.
I know it.
I will walk off the podcast right now because
Okay.
there's zero chance
Bring
you know
it.
this.
Bring it.
This I purposely pulled the toughest question
I know.
out.
I know everything in this movie. Give
Zero
it to me.
chance. Zero chance. I will reach in my pocket and give you $100 if you get this one.
Okay.
All right.
All right. What is the last girl that James St. James fell in love with?
Oh, that's easy.
I know.
Betsy Sabetta.
Oh, I knew that one.
Dang, this guy is good.
She had a hair-
All right,
she had
I was
a hair
talking
look.
about-
We should have
So
said
he
it
gets
together.
$100.
I know.
credit.
We both knew that. For
This
sure.
guy gets $100
Yeah, we
credit.
knew that one.
I did not say cash. I said
That's-
credit.
And she had a hair lip.
She did have a hair lip. You're right. The last question was, where do they roll the bowling ball? You already know that. Avenue H. You already answered that without even me questioning
telling
it.
you.
So that's the end of my questions. You guys did pretty dang
What you
good.
got, Caleb? Anything?
What?
Any
Trivia?
questions? Any
You
trivia?
said you had a couple trivia,
Just a
right?
couple quick ones for you
Quick.
guys.
Okay.
Yeah, let's truck
Um,
stop quickie. No big deal. Man, these guys are polished off their drinks.
All right. This is an easy one. I'll start off with something real easy.
Oh, it's so easy.
All right. What fruit was the neighbor eating that he was spying on her? She was making her typical breakfast
Mangoes.
every morning.
Wait, I should have known. Wait. First he says.
I think. All right.
First he says.
I want to know both things.
I
What
know
he thought
both.
it was, and then what it actually was.
First he thought it was mangoes, right? Or was that second? I can't. I'm a little
Papaya and then mango.
Papaya.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
He thought it was papayas, but then he
It was
then he
mangoes.
corrected
I should have
He
known.
corrected himself. It was the mangoes.
Yep.
He's like, oh, papayas, they're in season.
Yep.
you know,
It is
but-
mangoes. I should have known.
Yeah. And then a harder version
We'll split
of
that
that
one.
same scene.
Okay.
He's like, coffee for one. How many scoops?
Three,
He says coffee.
5
for one.
scoops.
Blink scoops.
5 scoops.
3 scoops.
3 scoops.
Was it 3 scoops?
Yep. What kind of pizza did they order?
Pepperoni. Extra cheese.
Pepperoni extra cheese.
Oh.
All right. And then who got the loan for Carl and James surf shop?
James.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that he didn't even get the loan.
It's not like you researched it. You picked the name on the yellow base. That's all.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay. What kind of car did Jack Berger drive off in the beginning after his meeting with Potterdam?
Wait. Who did? What?
Jack in the very beginning.
Jack.
Oh,
Jack
was it a
Berger.
Saab?
Yep, a Saab.
Bang.
Oh, yeah.
Give me
yeah.
those points.
All right.
I knew that because that's so as a windshield guy, I look at cars in movies and I'm always thinking windshield. So
That's funny. It is a weird, different windshield, isn't it?
it is.
Unique.
And Saabs I've done, they're pain in the butt.
Okay. When James and that girl are laying on the beach, she said that James promised her something the night before.
Let her use
What
a
was it?
surfboard. Let him use this.
Yep. Okay.
All right, you can use it.
All right. When Carl was spying on the girls in the apartments across from him,
The first time or the second time?
he's only did it one time.
Twice.
Well,
He
he
did
did
twice.
it. He did it one. The first time that's when he first saw the situation. The second time when he saw the murder.
Right.
The first time.
Oh
it
yeah.
was
Okay.
just a normal
So the
one.
first time, the
Okay.
first girl he looked at, what was her occupation?
Ooh.
Oh, you're talking about not the main girl.
No, not the main girl. The first girl he looked at,
Oh yeah.
what was her occupation?
His assumed occupation?
No,
you mean?
he knew because I guess the way she.
Was she like nurse or something? I can't remember.
No.
Huh. I remember that point when he says,
Mhm.
but I don't remember what he said.
And the one who saw her, she saw him.
Yeah,
Right?
she saw him.
And then he moved on to
Yep.
the guy with binoculars.
All right, so what is it?
Stewardess. Fly those friendly skies.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Should have had that.
Okay. When they were doing trivia at Carl's house, and they get interrupted.
I know this one. Okay.
What was the question he started saying before he got interrupted?
That's a good one.
He said, "Okay," and then they both turn and look.
I don't know, man.
I'm drawing a blank on that one.
Okay, what does gasoline? That's all he says.
Really?
Uh huh.
What does gasoline?
Okay, that's a good one. I
That's a
should have
very
known that.
specific.
Actually, it is very specific.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I know the other question. Is like I know I've seen that scene so many times.
I was gonna say what is their last names, but you guys already said those, both of them.
Yep.
Okay, the two coworkers at the garbage company,
Yeah.
who they are always arguing or fighting with. What are their names? They only say their first names in the movie, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, they say each one of them has a name, but I think one of them's their first name. They might both be last names.
Yeah, I remember
actually.
thinking that. I remember thinking, is that their first name or last name?
Yeah.
I think one of them is really weird. The guy who has those like dreads is kind of.
Mm-hmm. He has a weird, different one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dang it, man. I don't know.
Lazinski and Frost.
That's definitely last names. All right. First
Yeah.
of all.
Got to be last name.
Yeah.
All right, and the only
Okay.
other thing I had was to see if I know Caleb knows that we've talked about it before, but when you watched the movie, remember when the car blows up?
Yeah. It's a 1964 Chevy Corvette.
Did you happen to notice that when it blows up, there's cables connected to it? You can see the cables kind of flop up.
I was talking to Caleb about this. I was like, man, imagine blowing that car up today. Like, that's an expensive.
Yeah, it was
Blowing-
definitely a prop.
I mean, that's-
a prop
Was that a
car.
car? Was that a Corvette?
Is it a Corvette? Oh, yeah.
Huh.
That was a
Big time.
beautiful car, but
Yes, sir.
yeah. I mean, back to the movie. So I mean, as far as that's all you quizzed, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a cheesy movie, and I
time
understand if
cheesy.
somebody watched it and they said, "Oh, it's not really my thing," and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really find it that funny. I get it. It's cheesy, but it's also one of those movies that, not like I hate to relate it to Clifford, but because Clifford's also a very controversial movie. This is not, but that is
Better than Clifford.
Oh, it's absolutely way better than Clifford.
Really?
Oh, well, okay.
That's debatable.
Oh, okay.
It
well,
is debatable.
You know, I mean, I guess to the general public it would be. I
Right.
think they would naturally think this
They're
is
very
better.
close, but
But anyway,
But there are a lot of haters of
it's one of those
Clifford.
There sure is, and that's why I say that.
Right.
A lot of people hate that movie, but both the movies are ones that you can watch many times, and the more you watch it, the more you really like it.
The funnier it gets.
You'll find yourself quoting it all the time.
And you got to
and
watch
crap
it with
like
right
that.
people. You
Oh,
can't watch it by yourself.
That is so critical, and that not just for these movies, but with comedies in general.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta see good comedies with good people.
It's all about
and
the
laugh
setting.
Together. It makes
It's all
such
about
a-
the settings.
It makes
if
a
you're
night of
depressed
difference.
and you're sitting at home by yourself trying to watch a funny movie, it's not going to be that funny. You're still going to feel like crap and watching it.
Yeah.
And sure, you might chuckle or something, but there's certain parts in certain movies where just the most random thing will make your buddy laugh, and that makes that whole scene funny.
It really does.
You know?
It does.
It's funny how that works.
I can't tell you how many times I've watched movies with people, because I used to, growing up, we used to show people movies all the time,
Right.
and people that would introduce them to movies like this that they would never
Like
think
Men
to
at Work,
watch. Yeah, like Men at Work,
Clifford,
yeah.
like those kind of like B-grade movies that really aren't known for being funny. But
And afterwards, I would say, so what'd you think? And they would say, well, the movie was okay, but I really liked it because listening to you laugh.
you were laughing so much.
Because you were laughing so much, it made
makes
me
a
laugh.
It makes it a good time for everybody.
Yeah.
You know? How can you not have a good time when everybody's laughing in
That's
the room
true.
around you? I mean,
Which brings us
Yeah.
full circle back to Men at Work. So the Men at Work was
Yeah.
it was a good movie. The idea obviously had some kind of it was drawn out a little bit. The way I see it is the first act was great. The second act, great, like
think they
funny.
did good.
It's good, building up. And the third act just stretched so long. It got so like even now. We just watched it the other day,
yeah.
and it wasn't bad. The ending wasn't bad. I'm not going to say it's bad, but it was stretched and a little boring. Like they stopped being funny for the last third of it, and they just kind of wrapped up their movie. You know, they tried to make a little action scene, and some of the stuff that happened during the action scene was so outlandish. Like when they're like driving down the high. There's a part where they're driving down the
that was a
highway,
dumb part.
swinging from the back of
I
a
never
dump
liked
truck.
that part.
Yeah, I agree. I
And
never
it just
liked
took
that part.
so long. It felt like it's like 10 minutes.
That's one part that I always either wish they cut it or they just made it 10 times quicker. Or,
Right.
It should have been quicker.
It should have been much faster, but they just drew it out just to get the
Yeah.
extra minutes in the movie. I
That's-
felt like
That's one of a couple scenes that were just
very few.
yeah.
Right. Where it's just there's certain parts of movies that sometimes aren't that great.
Yeah.
And of course, it's easy for us to say, you know, maybe the director felt like it had to be there or whatever.
Yeah.
The
For
one
us, it just felt like stretched.
The one scene that I didn't really care for, well, it wasn't the scene. I guess it was more the dialogue. When Carl goes over to the apartment to snoop around
Yeah,
and meet the girl or talk to the girl.
Oh yeah, so that's a whole
kind of a boring part.
Yep. So when he like,
Wait, let me finish.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
So when he's talking, when he starts talking to her and he starts like tripping over his words and she's like, well, what do you do? I'm a phrenologist. I look at the, feel the size of Walt's, a-hole. And I'm like, really? Like, who's going to say that?
Yeah, no one.
Like, he says a few things
I
throughout
get
that
it.
whole scene.
to be funny.
Yeah,
but
no,
yeah.
not, but like he accidentally says something.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Right.
okay.
Repeated a joke he said earlier.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you didn't do that.
And
Like,
that whole part was kind of sketch. Caleb and I were talking about that when we were watching the movie, where he bangs in, obviously twists his ankle, and then he's like, "Well, I better go to inside your apartment. You should put ice on my ankle. I'm wounded. You hurt me." And
No
so this
problem.
is this random chick, right, with a random dude, and he's like, "Oh, let me in your apartment." No girl in her right mind is gonna say, "I'm gonna let this random guy in my apartment." It's just kind of weird, for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess if they're moving the movie along, I get that.
And there's a
Yeah.
lot of, I mean,
It's just kind of weird, I mean, no chick's gonna let some random ass dude into her apartment to put
I don't-
ice on
maybe.
his ankle. Maybe.
I've-
I mean, it wasn't that.
maybe
I
hot.
told
try.
you though, she's kind of a wild one.
She was wild.
Yeah.
Even after that, she's like, "Let's go out and party."
She's like,
Yeah.
let's go have
You
some
know?
fun. And they just off.
So maybe.
And then she was flying
Maybe.
around cars, speeding like a
Yeah,
maniac.
she was speeding like
She
crazy.
was.
Driving like a
Yeah.
maniac. Yeah.
So maybe she's a wild one.
No, I think she was just like, yeah.
But
One
okay,
of those psycho girls.
I
you just kinda
digress.
wanna
Maybe she was a
stay away
little crazy.
But you know what? This sucks. Basically,
So
do you.
What'd you say?
There's very few rules in the world, right?
you never touch another man's fries.
Oh man.
That's
You
true.
remember that.
There are several sacred things in this world that you don't ever mess with. One of them happens to be another man's fries. Now you remember that, and you'll live a long and healthy life.
That's true. I mean, that's absolutely true. You don't take another man's
That
fries.
guy, that Lewis, man, he played a funny, kind of a weird, funny part. You know?
Because he plays like a veteran.
Initially, you're supposed to kind of not like him. You know?
Right. He's supposed to be like the strict, hard up guy that, you know, you
And
just
he plays
don't,
that
you
too.
can't relate that.
You know, initially he's like drawn, you know, they're kind of like, oh, what are you drawing?
He's drawing some
Right
blown
about
up
us?
stuff.
Sorry.
Right? Yeah. Just different things he does. And I remember, I think my initial feelings when I watched it my first couple times, I just kind of didn't really, you know, care for him. But real quickly, he starts, I think once they have that, once they find that guy in the trash, you know, and once the cops come over there, you know, confront them, and then they realize they both have problems with the cops.
They're all on the same team at that point.
That's when all of a sudden,
And he has the funniest line in the entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
As far as when he goes, the guy brings in the pizza guy, and he goes, he's seen too much. And they pull him in.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's going on here?
Mind your own business, son.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You've seen too much.
That was the best part of the movie, as far as I'm concerned.
It was just like a normal, you know, interaction, and then he sees his eyes. He sees the pizza see behind him, and he sees Jack Berger's body.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You've seen too much."
No, so good.
The guy's like freaking out.
And then he starts having flashbacks and looking at him, thinking they were like from Nam.
Yeah, he's like seeing him with a different type of hat on and all this stuff. It's so funny.
He goes to give him you want some pizza? No. What do you say? He's an enemy.
He gets no food.
What the hell? Extra cheese?
And that pizza guy he played a funny character too. But anyway, go back to that Lewis. That thing he did to all the cops, he always put them in the same naked position, like, you know,
straddling each other.
Yeah, so funny.
Hilarious.
You will swing for this, James. I shit you not!
Oh man, so weird. It's just like,
And it was so random.
goofy part.
One scene that I thought I don't know, it stood out to me this time when I watched it, though I just thought was so hilarious.
Yeah.
Was Jack Berger, when he's dead, how he's got that same look on his face with his mouth open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he ends up like falling on the pizza guy.
Yeah.
I feel like they were really dabbing in like Weekend at Bernie's kind of time with that.
Absolutely.
You know? Like,
yeah, big time.
And what a hilarious character to play for that actor. Imagine signing up for that and you have like a few speaking roles in the beginning and the rest you're just a dead guy.
Oh man.
You have a very serious part where poisons are being pumped into the lake, and then you're dead.
You get strangled.
You get strangled. Now you're dead. Now play that role.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
But I would say at the end of the day, it was a pretty funny movie. I enjoy it. It's one of the movies you got to watch more than once.
Yeah.
It's definitely,
sure.
you have to watch it multiple times.
Yeah, the more you watch it, the funnier it gets. Of
Right.
course.
It should be funny the first time, but if for some reason you're really an unfunny person, you don't get comedy, then watch it again. And if you still don't get it, just
figure it out.
Stop watching comedies.
Yeah, maybe movies aren't your
They're
thing.
not for you.
Maybe movies aren't your thing.
That being said, let's get to the ratings.
Okay. Let's do it.
It always starts with me. Man, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, what rating would I give this? And man, it's a tough one because it's definitely rewatchable.
It's absolutely rewatchable.
Yeah, it's
that's one of its strongest.
for
points,
me.
I
It's
think.
like right on the cusp of one to the other. I figured out I'm going to give it a 6.9. It's because again, our rating system is a little different. We like to be more in the middle as much as we can be. And a 5 is a good enough movie to watch. A 5 is a good enough movie to watch. Anything more than that is definitely worth a watch. Once you start talking to 7, it's definitely worth a watch. So I think it's a classic movie. There's a lot of funny lines. The end of the movie, the last 1/3 of it, kind of screws it for me. That's what drops the rating back down for me. But I think to me, it's a very strong 6.9, right on the cusp of being a 7. Personally, a hilarious movie. Maybe you can't watch it every single day, but every couple of years, you'd find humor in it. That's all I'm gonna say. I enjoyed it. 6.9. Caleb, what do you think?
Thanks for asking. So basically, this is a tough one for me because I love this movie, and it's one that I love to watch over and over again, obviously. And but there are some negatives that I kind of pointed out, and a lot of it has to do with the cheesiness of the movie. Other than that, I love the story, the garbage guys, and the whole thing of finding a body on the route and all this stuff. I think it's a lot of fun, and but overall, I mean, it doesn't have a whole lot going on. Cheesiness was kind of over the top.
Was over the top.
Had some slow parts that kind of
the last
could have
third
been
of it was
better.
bad. Right. Not bad. Not bad. Just different.
Yeah.
Different.
So that all being said, I'm gonna rate it a solid 7.4.
Okay.
That's good. All right. And Mr. Squasho, what do you think?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say a 7.8. Yeah, I almost saw it 8, but it's not quite an 8.
It's not an 8,
but not
an
as
8.
low as 7.5 either.
Yeah.
7.8.
All right. 7, 8.
Yeah,
We have a 7.
I wasn't annoyed with the end.
7.4.
And the 6, 9. I mean, we're in the same range.
Yeah.
Watch it. It's definitely it slipped by you guys. Look, I know you guys haven't watched it. Most people haven't watched it unless you're watching this channel.
Let's cut the crap. If
yeah.
you've seen it, have you not seen it? If you haven't seen it,
Right.
see it. It's obviously we recommend it, and if we recommend it, it's good.
Right. If you go by this channel at all, obviously
Yeah.
the highest ranking movies are
We
UHF.
didn't have a lot of bad things to say about it at all.
No, there's
It's
nothing
great.
bad to say about it. There's not obviously great actors, great cinematography. Everything about it is a good movie. It's a great '90s movie. Definitely a movie of its time.
If you want to
90s.
if you have a group of friends together, or even your family together, and want to have a fun, laughable,
and that's the nice thing about it.
night,
Anyone can watch
throw it on. It's a guaranteed good time. Order a pizza if you want to really spice it up.
Oh, yeah.
Order a pepperoni pizza. Or
Here's the thing: if you order a pizza, definitely make it with extra cheese, and do not kidnap the pizza guy. It's not his fault, even if he's seen too much.
Or hide the body in the closet, in the bathroom, until the pizza guy's gone.
Right, let him go first, then move the body.
Yeah.
Okay, trust me.
Isn't that what the police supposed to do? Help people.
Let us know what you guys think. Put it in the
Yeah.
comments. What did you like the movie?
I'd be curious.
Give us your rating.
I've never
Yeah.
talked about this movie with people. I don't know what the average person who's seen it even thinks about it.
Yeah, I haven't either.
So
I
leave
think
in the
most people have
comments.
never seen it. That's the thing. I
And
think
if
it's
they
slipped
have seen
by.
it, they probably saw it once or maybe
Once.
half of
Right.
once or some crap like that. I mean, just see it. Don't be dumb.
Don't just watch the movie. Give us, what do you think in the comments below? We'll check it out and we'll see if it's right on with ours.
Yeah.
Okay. That being
Let's
said,
discuss it. Let's discuss it,
Let's
guys.
discuss it.
in
Let's
the
bring this
comments.
conversation down into the
yeah,
comments.
let's bring it to the comments. That being said, that's going to end it for us. We are a up and coming channel, of course. We're still,
Hey,
we're
also,
fairly new.
if there's another movie you want us to watch or review,
Drop it in the comments.
drop it in the comments. because
Absolutely.
We're always looking for new movies to discuss, even though we have a huge list on our own, but we like new ideas.
Exactly. I think next week we might be dabbling in kind of either. We love comedies. Look, we love comedies. We might dabble in comedies. We might drop back to some action movies because I've been talking about some action movies that are lesser known.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of have a soft spot for them, but we'll see. We'll see. Nothing's set in stone here. Come on, chill out, guys. And with that, I think we're going to.
With that, we're going to leave you with it's such a beautiful day today. Warm sun, beautiful women,
And
the air is just right for drinking.
That's going to do it for us. This is the It's Always Something podcast. Thank you, viewers, for watching our program. We'll see you next week.
What the heck was that?
I don't know. That's a great way to end. See you next week.
The robot, Danny.